how to level up in life. Everyone wants to know the secret. What is the magical self-help secret? How do you get yourself from the level that you are at into a higher level? How do you actually get the things you want? These are the questions that you ask yourself all the time, and these are the answers that I try to provide with each video. So in this video, I'm going to talk specifically about how to level up in life. These are going to be the tips that I use to take myself from what I would consider quite a low level where I had no money. I remember moving into my apartment having $53 in my checking account to working menial jobs, $10 an hour, to making it up to new levels, learning self-improvement, focusing on my writing skills, making a little side income, getting better jobs, going up the ladder, and eventually circumventing the ladder altogether, building my own business, writing multiple books, living the life of my dreams, financial flexibility, wake up, do what I want. How do you get to this point? Is it realistic for you? That's what I'm going to touch on today. I'm going to give you a couple quick hitting tips to teach you how to level up in life. Tip number one is honestly finding the smallest step in the proper direction and a step that is going to be easy for you to level up on. I talk about the idea and the concept of finding your strengths over and over and over and over again for one reason. You want to find a game that is going to be the easiest for you to win, right? So for those of you who play video games, you can play things like Madden or NBA 2K, and when you're playing against the simulation, the computer as your opponent, you can choose the difficulty level that you're playing against, right? So you can put it on easy mode where you can score a lot quicker, get a lot more points, have a lot more fun, or you could put it on extremely difficult mode to where if you're a beginner and not good at the game, you're going to get your butt whooped, right? So in real life, if you want to level up and you haven't really had a successful time doing so, you're going to want to play the game on easy mode. So when you find something that you're good at or you have a shot to be good at already, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to level up. So in my case, writing was something that when I had the opportunity to start doing it, it came to me pretty quickly, all right? And the things that are going to come to you pretty quickly are the ones that you kind of brush to the side, things that people tell you, oh, wow, you could be so good at this. But you kind of tell people, yeah, I don't really know, right? And in the case, even some people who, they think that their skills aren't worthwhile. Somebody who is really good at video games, right? So some people's parents say, hey, you're being lazy, you're playing all these video games. Hey, if you're good at video games, if that's your lane, probably the best professional step in your career that would be easiest might be trying to be a professional video game player. Focus where your aptitudes are first, and that's going to help you reach the next level quickly. So in the description below, I have a link that I share constantly where you can check out that link, and it'll help you narrow things down and get a look at what your skills might be. But you want to focus on playing games you can win. That is a chapter that I have in my book. It's something that I learned from the great Charlie Munger, someone who I have a lot of respect for, and he kind of has this example of, you don't want to pick the most crazy competitive games to play in. So he has this example of becoming a professional tennis player. It's like, yeah, your odds of becoming a professional tennis player, not really that great. But he says you can become the best plumber in Bemidji. And he uses Bemidji because it's this random small town, and the whole idea behind it is that if you pick a kind of narrower area to focus on, a skill that is not insanely difficult to learn, you have a better chance of winning. And it's something that most people can do. Most people could work to being the best plumber in a small town to where most people could not become professional tennis players. So at least in the beginning, stick with your aptitudes and stick with something reasonable. Don't say you're going to start $1 million business when you've never started a business before, right? Find a business that might fit with your skills and focus on making $1, which is going to lead to my next point on how to level up in life. Wins, wins, wins. You want to find a way to get your winner effect going as quickly as possible. So what is the winner effect? The winner effect is anytime you get positive feedback from what you're doing, you deposit a subconscious signal in your brain that says, hey, you're a winner. You are making effort towards something worthwhile. And the quicker you stack up those wins, the more momentum you are going to gain and the more confidence you will have to tackle larger goals in the future. Yes, this is stuff you've heard before, basic self-improvement talk about baby steps, but do you embrace it in your life? Or do you try to do too much, too fast, too soon, and try to get frazzled, right? So take YouTube. When I wanted to start the YouTube channel, I did not say, hey, I'm going to make a bunch of money, get 100,000 subscribers, have this fancy equipment, build a studio, become the next Joe Rogan. No. I opened up my webcam and I recorded one video. Go look at the first video on my channel. In fact, I will link to it here. Check out the old grainy video in my poorly lit apartment with no artwork in the background, no production quality, horrible sound, all of that. But that was the seed to what I'm doing now, to where my channel has a little bit better production quality. I have a little bit more of a following. I'm growing over time. So what I'm trying to tell you is shrink that initial point to where you're trying to level up so that you can get those wins as quickly as possible. You want to kind of find somewhere to focus on your beach of Normandy in France, so to speak, this attack point that you can get to. And you have to make the goal so achievable that you will congratulate yourself for doing it. When I made my first YouTube video, I congratulated myself for making one video. I did not even think about all the future making this amazing channel. I said, hey, Io, pat yourself on the back. You shot one YouTube video. That's awesome. You go to the gym one time. That's awesome. You get down and do 10 push-ups right now. That is awesome. You write one blog post. That is awesome. You read an article for 5 minutes about how to start a business and the business plan has 17 steps. You do step 1. Congratulate yourself. That's awesome. People don't know how to gradually celebrate their wins and progress. It's like everyone is simultaneously lazy, but they want to achieve world domination at the same time. It's just not going to work. You got to shrink things down. You know, a book of mine, one book I was thinking about doing a book review on soon, it's called The One Thing by Gary Keller. And what he says is you want to find something, the one thing that if you do it, it makes all other things easier. So if you want to reach a goal a year from now, you got to figure out what you need to do today, the smallest, tiniest thing to knock over that domino, to knock some of the bigger ones over in the future, and you will build momentum in the future. In the book, he talks about the fact that if you take a 1.5 inch domino and stack a domino that is 1.5 times higher, by the time you get to the 52nd domino, it will be as tall as the moon, and you could flick that little domino, that a little 1.5 inch one, and knock them all over, including the one that goes all the way to the freaking moon. So this is how you level up in life, and this is how you build that winner effect in your mind to reach new goals in the future. And lastly, I'll leave you with one quick tip. I think the most important thing about leveling up is understanding that, you know, current you is not going to be the one who is going to be doing those amazing things in the future. So you have to trust that, you know, doing things right now within your kind of limited paradigm is going to lead to that growth in the future. So all the things that I'm doing now, all the accomplishments that I have achieved now, my former self would not even believe they're possible, didn't have the capability, didn't have the motivation, didn't have the discipline to even do those things. So I think a lot of people, really the point I'm trying to make is don't beat yourself up for not being Superman or Superwoman or super person, whoever. You're not supposed to be that person yet. You don't have the knowledge yet. You don't have the discipline yet. You don't have the skills yet. There are so many little things you're going to learn along your journey, and you're never going to get there if you keep worrying about trying to be this amazing person that just doesn't currently exist. And the thing about it, about the unsexy process of incremental change, is that you can become really an entirely different version of yourself in a relatively short period of time if you just put your head down and do the work. So for me, it took about 5 years, a half decade, to really get to a point where I wanted to be in life. And the way that it works, I talk about that growth curve over and over and over again. So you're leveling up, you're going and you're doing these baby steps, you're getting a little bit better, and then one day it just explodes. So you need to trust that that explosion is going to happen. So I'm gonna make this one brief, but I'll leave a quote from one of my favorite thinkers, Charlie Munger, and he says, step by step you get ahead, but not necessarily in fast spurts. But the work you do will build discipline to prepare you for those fast spurts. Slug it out inch by inch, and one day, if you live long enough, you'll be successful. Now, I'm not quoting that verbatim, but the sentiment of that explains everything you need to know about leveling up in life. Okay, if you're really looking to level up in life, this is the book that'll help you. Real Help, An Honest Guide to Self-Improvement, going in the description below. Grab that. Even if you're not someone who likes to read books, you have an audio version there so you can get those lessons downloaded directly into your brain. Lastly, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you can get brand new videos the moment they come out. Make sure to smash that like button. Leave your 2 cents on ideas that you want to see for new videos. Lastly, you will see some videos popping up in front of your face right now. Make sure to check those out, and I will see you on the next video.